Hello everyone, welcome back to another brilliant chess puzzle, and this would be my second time trying to record this video because last time I forgot to turn on my mic, so hopefully I did this time, and hopefully the video will be captured with my voice. So, first of all, white has a pawn for rook, but white's pawn is one square away from promoting. This means that if black is not careful, then he'll actually lose the game, and obviously, white's king is in check, so we can't promote right now. But here, white has 5 legal moves. One of them wins, one of them loses, and 3 of them draws. The move that loses is a move king to a5, since it allows rook to c6. And white's king is too far away from this pawn. It is unable to reach it in time, and black will capture the pawn, which will lead black to win. And the move king to a7 simply allows rook to c6. And since white's pawn is so close to promotion, black has no hope of winning. So the best he can do is draw. And he'll draw even if it means sacrificing his rook for the pawn. And in this case, even though white can get the king close to the pawn and promote it, protect it once let's say black makes like a random move. If white promotes, black will just sacrifice it. And even now, black can just sacrifice for the pawn, and it's a dead draw. And same with what happens if white plays the move king to b7. Black's rook will move to d7, and this pawn is once again unable to queen without being taken by the rook. And the other move that leads to a draw is the move king to c5. And the reason it's a draw because black can play a really cheeky move, rook all the way down to d1. And if white doesn't be careful, he is actually the one that is losing, since if he just mindlessly promotes, black will win the queen or whatever piece, like maybe a rook and a skewer. And obviously black is the one that's winning, since he will just simply capture the queen. And the winning move here is the move king to b4. And after the rook moves down, you'll see the pattern. And once again, white must move the king down. And here, if black tries to go for the same tactic, white will just move the king to c2. And now rook down to d1 doesn't work, since white will just capture it. And notice that all of these squares are actually protected by the king, so there's no chance of potential skewers. However, black has one last trick here, and that is the move rook up to d4. And the point is that if white promotes to a queen, black will play the move rook to c4. And do you see the problem here? The problem is that white is forced to take the rook, since if he doesn't, he's just losing. And once white does capture the rook, this position is a stalemate. Black's king cannot move to any of the b squares because of the king, and it cannot move to a2 because of the queen. However, there is a way to stop this from happening, and that is to promote to a rook, since obviously a rook cannot move diagonal, which therefore would mean it would not cover the a2 square. And you might say a rook and a rook endgame. How does white actually win? And the answer is that black's king is in such a terrible position. It's really vulnerable, especially the a file over here. And white's own king is really close to the king, and it cuts off all the king's escape squares. And white is actually threatening a mate right now with rook all the way to a8. And black can prolong the game for a bit with rook to a4, but after king to b3, black is just losing. There is no way to save this position. Black has two choices, either to move the king and lose the rook, or move the rook and lose the game and get checkmated. But either way, white will win, and this was an incredible endgame study. And of course, there are many other lines that you can explore with an engine. But that'll be it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. And I'll see you all in my next video. Goodbye.